Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see a healthy Carson Wentz and the world champion Philadelphia Eagles face off with Marcus Mariota and the Tennessee Titans. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thanks. We are across the Cumberland River from downtown Nashville at Nissan Stadium in Tennessee. This crowd here fired up for football as a moment ago their Titans were introduced. This should be a good one as the Titans get set to match up with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we take a look at this Titan ball club entering play. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
Two 1-2 teams, each hoping to get back to 500, and we're underway in Week 4. Adoree Jackson on the return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. It'll be Marcus Mariota calling the shots under center in his 4th year now at the helm of the Titans out of Oregon.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting out a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
First down, Mariota. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. A very good move, but for a short gain out near the 32. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down. And the offensive starters for Tennessee.
The Titans wanted a little bit more out of the number 5 pick in the draft in 2017, and that is Corey Davis. And I expected they'll get it moving forward. Beset by hamstring injuries in preseason last year, it was slow going in the beginning, but he really started to come on as the season concluded. In fact, in the postseason, 9 catches, 98 yards with 2 touchdowns in 2 games. I expect that he'll be their number 1 receiver in 2018 and beyond.
2nd down, Mariota. And this one caught by Delaney Walker. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A Titan first down, Mariota to Walker.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there was a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. For the Eagles, a look now at the starters on the defensive side of the ball. They come into this one ranked number 17, so just starting the bottom half of the league against the pass.
What they lack in pass defense, they do make up for in run defense. They're a top 10 unit against some people trying to move the ball on the ground. But this is a passing league, so there's a conundrum for them. How do they get better defending the pass?
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now a former 5th-round pick of the Eagles. This is Dion Lewis. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Third and long here for Mariota. A little juke. Eagle pressure. Too much this time. Down he goes. Derek Barnett in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to fourth down.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now?
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
On fourth down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And this will be taken at the 13. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. Leading the charge under center will be their 6'5" quarterback, Carson Wentz.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. There are the numbers last week for Jay Ajayi. 13 carries, 69 yards.
And they've got a nice scheme going right now, and they run the football pretty well. In fact, I was talking with him on the field before the game, and he said he's starting to hear from the guys ahead of him on the rushing yardage total, and they want to know if he's going to jump up there and join them at the top of the list.
They run again with Ajayi. Ajayi hit. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Titans. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. So a rocky start on both sides offensively. Turnovers exchanged.
I saw what you did there.
What'd I do? Rocky. Two Rockies.
I saw that. I got it. And, and right now, they're carrying it around like they are wearing boxing gloves. If we're going to have that kind of a reference, they've got to get it together and start playing a little bit better ball.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. The corner, Ronald Darby, comes up to get it.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now a 2nd down throw for Mariota. And Matthews over the middle with a grab. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And he's going to have a 1st down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a 2nd guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
Throwing is Mariota. And complete to the tight end Walker, right side. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, Mariota. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Brandon Graham coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be fourth down.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down. So on fourth down, here's the Tennessee field goal unit led by Ryan Suckup. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. And Suckup will put this one right through. And the Titans hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
They'll begin the drive with a J. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. Being chased out left. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. And here are the starters for Philadelphia.
An electric force out of the backfield is Jay Ajayi, who made the most out of his midseason exit from Miami and acquisition by the Philadelphia Eagles. The leading rusher in the playoffs for the Eagles helped power them to a Super Bowl with his ability to see holes where people don't think they exist and turn them into long runs.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. On third and long, it's Wentz. Trying to lay one up deep. And it's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the...
And they get to Mariota here as he's dropped on the sack.
Well, that was their 3rd sack of the ball game, 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the second spot pretty soon. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. This is Lewis. And he's got some space here. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup. And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short. And they're going to try to pick up the first down.
And he's got a man, Corey Davis. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down. Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They try again with Lewis. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Derrick Henry, and a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
They'll try to throw now. Mariota. Got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown. It's the fullback, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Titans find a way to stretch their lead. And a great example there of just getting the feet in a tough spot. It seems like every year these guys get better at this.
Well, I think the drills get better.
So the ref makes a call, no touchdown there, wipe it off the board. A good hold of these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and the lead grows to 10-0. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Here's Carson Wentz now with the rest of his offensive unit heading onto the field. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
A look at the defensive starters for Tennessee.
Coming off 3 straight Pro Bowls is Jarrell Casey, and at 6'1", 305 pounds, he has almost a unique size because he's built to play nose tackle, but he also can play a little bit of defensive end and rush the passer well. So that makes him a very difficult matchup for offensive lines, and he finds his way into the opposing backfields with regularity.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And he slings one that's incomplete. Mike Wallace, the intended receiver. 3rd down here.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Now Wentz. Flushed out right. He may try and run for this. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the first down.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that first down now. I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic.
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. Throwing is Wentz. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Wentz going to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Can't have enough good pass-catching tight ends in the NFL. The Eagles, they wanted to replenish their stock. They lost Trey Burton in the offseason, so they selected Dallas Goedert out of South Dakota State in the second round, and he is nothing but a big-time pass catcher.
What a great story, because South Dakota State didn't offer him a scholarship out of high school. He walked on there.
Yeah, so now Zach Ertz has a running mate at tight end.
2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're...
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. They're starting to put some space here. You know, first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right? Trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
13 yards is the pickup for Tennessee and a first down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Lewis, and he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 11 more on that one, and another first down. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got a first and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quickly, and now first and goal.
And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Dion Lewis, his second touchdown on the season. And the Titans are going to add on to their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This one fielded at the 5. Gets around him. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. A chance for us now to discuss Jay Ajayi. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while. And then you get a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Well, still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Back to the air on second down. Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Jarrell Casey in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They have not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Pass interference. Defense.
So call off the pick 6.
Everything looked right. It looked like it was in their favor. Returned it for a touchdown, as you just described. But instead, the penalty for interference nullifies everything.
Wentz now on first down. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
Come on now. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Wentz now on first down. This complete left side to Aguilar. And he'll take it down deep into Tennessee territory. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get...
This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Alshon Jeffrey, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles get a score closer. And, man, Charles, talking about singing something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. Elliott now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Dion Lewis getting set to go again here with his guys on offense. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend.